He's got room.
It's a battle here in the BCSL between the Pennsauken Indians. They start the year 0-4, and the Burlington City Blue Devils at 1-3 here on a Monday night. Thanks for joining us on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I'm Jake Clark alongside the man himself, Dan Wilkins. And Dan, both these teams, as we just mentioned, starting off the season a little bit slow. Burlington City 1-3, the Pennsauken Indians 0-4. How can these teams try and turn it around here tonight?
Well, Burlington City used to be a powerhouse in Central Jersey and South Jersey Group 1, but they've been on a bit of a rut this year. I think that they need to just stick to their fundamentals to turn this thing around. Both of these teams won 10 and 12 games respectively last year, but it's an early season battle. The BCSL is always a tough conference, and I'm excited to see how these two teams duke it out tonight.
Yeah, and both of these teams leading the way are some stars in the backcourt. For Burlington City, it's Corey DeGree, and for the Pennsauken Indians, it's Nazir Negron. Potentially a good matchup to look at for there in the backcourt. And one final note, both these teams like to score a lot inside the three-point line. Certainly going to be a big treat if you're a fan of old-school physical basketball, playing down low away from the three ball.
Well, this is an old-school gym. It's a great place for old-school basketball, but I'll tell you, Nazir Negron, leading scorer from last year, returning to this Pennsauken team, and Pennsauken lost a lot of their front court last year. They had a lot of different guards that graduated in 2025. Nazir Negron is one of the remaining tenants of that core. And again, he likes to move inside. He's the quarterback of the football team. He's going to be a catalyst here on the basketball team. And hey, it's impressive to be a multi-sport athlete as a Group 1. Even more impressive to do it at a massive high school like Pennsauken.
It certainly is. We're going to take a quick step off the air. Starting lineups in the national anthem will get underway. Thanks for tuning in to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. beautiful performance there of the national anthem by a Pennsauken student. Now the starting lineups being introduced. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark alongside Dan Wilkins, and both of these teams are looking to really pick up a big win here tonight in the BCSL. Pennsauken 0-4 on the year, 12-15 last year, losing in the South Jersey Group 4 first round of the playoffs. On the other side of things, the visiting Burlington City Blue Devils, 1-3 on the year. Their only win against Riverside back on December 15th. They beat Riverside 51-44. The Blue Devils 10-16 last year, losing in the quarterfinals of South Jersey Group 1. And this is one thing we didn't really hit on in the Open, but a big school playing a small school, even though it's in conference. Pennsauken a Group 4, Burlington City a Group 1, and that certainly usually favors the bigger school, which would be Pennsauken in this case.
Yeah, well, Pennsauken is a team that, again, went 12-15 last year. They had their own individual struggles, but I'm excited to see what these two teams are able to do. 1-3 versus 0-4. Pennsauken's won the last two matchups head-to-head, but Burlington City's won the three before that in 2022 and 2023, and there were several games that they won by double digits. Last time these two teams played was January of 2024. Pennsauken won on their home floor 76-57, and that was a game where they put up 44 points in the first half. So there's a lot to like about these two teams, and what better place to showcase them than in an early season matchup where they may be their most evenly matched.
Yes, certainly. And on the other side of things, we talked about, Burlington City being able to beat Riverside. Their last two games were both on the road and very close losses. They lost on the 17th of December to Northern Burlington by just 2 points, 56-54, and then on the road against Palmyra on the 19th, 52-49. So they're hanging around with some of these opponents, and that record could easily be flipped on its head if they're able to pull out a couple of close wins. On the other side of things, Pennsauken in their last game losing by 11 to Shawnee on the 20th, 44-33. We're just about set for opening tip-off here. The starters tonight for Pennsauken: Nazir Negron, Jason Carr, Julian Singleton, Josh Duran, and Sean Pierre Lewis for the Indians. The tip-off goes up. Pierre Lewis wins the jump ball, and we are underway here from Pennsauken High School. Negron on the right wing. Back to Carr. Negron, pass down low. Dribbling around there is Duran. Carr, three-pointer up. You bet. Jason Carr starts the scoring off with 3 points there for Pennsauken.
Well, I think you said, Jake, that they like to score from inside the arc. And it's still early, but that was a great way to start the game right there with a nice shot off the wing.
Carr leading the team in three-point makes now with 10 after that triple. Burlington City looking to try and answer back. James outside, working against Pierre Lewis. Now it's Greenberg. Greenberg, nice pass down to James. Turnaround jump shot, rolls around the rim, does not fall. Rebound goes to the Indians. Negron has it. Pass was intended there for Pierre Lewis. It's stolen away, and here come the Blue Devils.
Well, in a game that's 1-3 versus 0-4, could have a lot of turnovers tonight between these two teams.
Three-pointer there. Can't answer back. Bobbled around, and the offensive rebound goes to Burlington City, and now it's turned back over. Carr running the break. Passes this one. Pierre Lewis stolen away there by Greenberg. Eric Greenberg running the break now. Driving inside is Lambing. Lambing, nice pass to Hawkins. Just leaves it short off the front iron. Just a minute and a half off the clock, and you mentioned it, a couple turnovers back and forth there. That could be a story we see all night here tonight.
Just seeing a really scrappy game of basketball right now. The only basket, that three-point shot. Pennsauken, they're probably going to go to work inside the arc a little bit more as we get into it. But right now, these two teams feeding off of each other really well in the offensive front.
Fast break opportunity here. Layup goes up and in. First points of the night. Corey Degree, the leading scorer for Burlington City, gets the first points of the night for the Blue Devils as they trail by 1. Pennsauken looking to just beat the press, and they do. Negron kicks this one out. Singleton had it in the corner. Mid-range jump shot rims out there for Negron. And now here comes Burlington City. James with it. Passes it to the top for Greenberg. Greenberg, pass down low for Hawkins. Hawkins' layup is good on the right block. Pretty pass inside from Greenberg to Joshua Hawkins, and the sophomore converts down low.
Yeah, I mean, Burlington City is a little bit taller than Pennsauken, who's really running a 4-guard offense here. But other than that, I mean, just good shot selection from Burlington City to get back in the lead.
Shot drops and the foul call there for Sean-Pierre Lewis, as he'll have a chance now for the old-fashioned three-point play on the and one opportunity. Pierre Lewis averaging 2 points per game, 3 rebounds per game in 3 games played in his senior season. Tied for the tallest player on this Pennsauken roster at 6'4". He's set. Shot is up and good. Now a 2-point lead here for Pennsauken. 3 minutes off the clock here in the first. James with it. Pass tipped there and intercepted by Pierre Lewis. Gets it now to Negron as they'll slow things down. Carr with it. Carr takes a few dribbles. Now back to Negron. Gets it down for Pierre Lewis. Whistles and a travel there called on Sean-Pierre Lewis. One too many steps right around the free throw line. And it's going the other way with Burlington City.
Yeah, seeing a lot of physicality here and a lot of the quick passes deep up and down the floor. That camera keeps whipping around a lot because these players are moving around a lot.
Whistles and a jump ball forced there by Pennsauken. Gets the bench very fired up, but possession will stay with the Blue Devils. And you're certainly right, a lot of quick passing, a lot of up-tempo play. Degree with it. He'll test his luck from deep. He nails it. Corey Degree, a three-pointer there, adds 3 more to give them the lead. Carr gets it up past half court. Pierre Lewis barreling down the lane, loses it. Now his double team that's deflected. Last touch there by Eric Greenberg, and it will stay with Pennsauken.
Yeah, you could see Burlington City's frustration there with Coach Warwick. He didn't want Pennsauken to keep the possession. They wanted to get it back their own, but one of their guys touched it. Greenberg touched it, and it ends up being a turnover.
Foul against Burlington City as Negron tried to get it down low. Still waiting for the official call, but it looked as though it was against Jared James. Now a couple substitutions being made here for Pennsauken. Negron to inbound. Still looking. Now finds Koprich. Koprich goes up. First shot off the bench won't fall. Burlington City moving out in transition, now slowing things down. Lambing three-pointer.
Ooh.
Rolls off the front iron and in.
That is a shocking shot selection that time from Burlington City, but their boldness might actually help them in this game if that shot selection is going to be one that's going to be consistent.
Pierre Lewis driving inside. Nice pass, and the layup is converted there. Avery Koprich, the senior, getting his first basket of the night. Shot from inside the line, hits the back of the rim. Negron with the rebound, passes it up. Koprich is there. Shot drops and the foul. Avery Koprich, a spark plug off the bench here for Pennsauken, and has a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Avery Koprich, great stretch, great run down the stretch there for Pennsauken. Got the easy basket and now is able to convert on a foul with a chance for a three-point play. He already has the lead for Pennsauken scoring so far. Just a great stuff by the sixth man.
Free throw is up, hits the back of the rim and will not fall. The game stays tied at 10 here. 3:40 left to go in the first quarter. Degree working against Carr. Now he's double teamed. Degree, nice pass down low there for Greenberg. Fadeaway jump shot will not fall. Koprich on the rebound. He loses it. Hawkins with it. Hawkins floats one up, and he doesn't get the shot to drop. Right back in the hands of Koprich, and now Negron to orchestrate the offense here for Pennsauken. Cross-court pass. Driving baseline there is Duran. Leaves it way short. And now here come the Blue Devils. Negron tips the pass, and it goes out. Knocked over the little possession arrow on the scorer's table.
We can't lose the jump ball if you can't see where the possession arrow is going.
You certainly can't. Josh Duran checks out. Jaden Rivera subs in for Pennsauken, along with Sincere Fullwood in for the Blue Devils. Lambing the one to run the point, picked up by Carr right around half court. Degree with it. Right now to Fullwood. Fullwood driving, and he stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
Well, I'll tell you this, Burlington City, I really like how they're running this offense right now, but Pennsauken's defense has been a good match for them. Not running a man-to-man, instead running that 3-2 defense where somebody's going to be open, but Pennsauken is a quick and agile team that when you're guard focused, you can afford to run a team like that.
Rivera inside the line, yes. Jaden Rivera, his first 2 points off the bench, gives the Indians a 12-10 lead.
Well, Harrison Carcillo already not too thrilled with how his defense is running. You could see he's a very passionate and emotional coach, somebody that when his team messes up, there's going to be a lot of, hands up in the air and a what are you doing kind of style. He's the coach on the bottom of your screen in that Michigan hoodie. We did mention, I don't know if we mentioned it in the open, but it is worth noting that Yaxel Landenberg is going to be in attendance today. I don't see him yet, but he's the 6'9" power forward from Michigan who previously played at UAB in Arizona and is on the Naismith watch list for Player of the Year. Great job so far in the Big Ten, and he's a Pennsauken alum.
Certainly a cool note, and for an alum of that stature to be coming back here tonight. Koprich goes up, his shot's blocked by Hawkins. Pierre Lewis gets the rebound. Carr thought about a three-pointer. Negron now slowing things down. Good block by the sophomore and Joshua Hawkins. But Pennsauken gets it back. Carr to Pierre Lewis. Three-pointer from Negron. Money! Nazir Negron knocks down the triple and makes it a 5-point lead now for Pennsauken. Fullwood has it. He's double-teamed. Looking around for anybody, and now a foul is called. Pennsauken can't believe it.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation right there, as it looked like 24 picked up the foul for Pennsauken. That would be Koprich. No, excuse me, Rivera. I mean, I don't know if I agree with the foul per se, but it does feel like, just going back to that last possession that Pennsauken had, it felt like whiplash to go from 6 minutes of high-paced, high-torque offense to a really slow, methodical offense that Pennsauken, it almost felt like an antithesis,
Fullwood working inside. His shot's blocked. Rebound goes with the Blue Devils. Trying to pass it out there was Greenberg, and he turns it over. Koprich with it, leading the charge. Negron thought about a three-pointer, now slows down. Picked up by Eric Greenberg. Pennsauken now taking their time with a 5-point lead. Negron looking, finds Koprich on the left block. Back to Negron, all alone for three. Can't get that one to go. Pierre Lewis on the rebound and gets the second chance bucket. Sean Pierre Lewis with a nice rebound and provides second chance points there for Pennsauken. Degree with it. Being tried in the corner there by Negron. Jump shot inside the line, too strong. Rivera on the rebound.
There were so many things happening on that last possession, I couldn't even keep count. I mean, just so many guys flying down inside the paint there. Bit of a scrappy defense there by Pennsauken. It cost him a foul earlier and then got him a turnover, and then it ends up ending in a Pierre Lewis basket.
Negron slowing things down with 20 seconds left. No shot clock in New Jersey. They could hold for the final possession of the first quarter. Rivera with it. Now at the top of the key finds Carr. Back to Rivera. 6 on the clock. Rivera looking. Koprich in the corner. Drives inside. Goes to the baseline. Uses the right hand on the finish as the clock expires. A great first quarter for the Pennsauken Indians as they really caught fire in the second half of that first quarter and now lead by 9 here at the first quarter break. We'll take a quick step off the air right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Welcome back to Pennsauken High School. Jake Clark's on the lead, but we'll introduce an ad read. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road.
That one goes out of bounds. A turnover there for Pennsauken. Now, I'm no math major, but over 90% sounds really, really good. Harper Driving School doing great stuff there.
Well, you wanted to be a math major at one point, I'm pretty sure.
I can tell you, I'm not good with numbers, but wow, that one swatted down by Rivera. Carr thought about the three-pointer. Now Rivera drives to the baseline. His shot's blocked. Excellent work on the defensive end by Lambing, but Pennsauken gets it back. Negron slowing the pace of play down.
I don't want to be that guy, but I thought I saw some contact by Burlington City there in the paint. Thought that should have been a foul.
Carr looking. Koprich, top of the key. One too many steps before the dribble and a travel called. Wow, look at that. Breaking news here for our NFL fans.
I was just showing it to you, Jake. We're just having fun around here.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf got suspended. That's interesting.
Yeah. Not as interesting as this Pennsauken defense here, picking up full court. Fullwood with it. Bounce pass inside. Burlington City really struggling with this zone defense. And there another turnover. Negron gets it, and he's fouled right around midcourt. A lot of contact there from Caleb Hilton Ingram. 9-point lead for Pennsauken. They'll inbound right in front of us here. Pennsauken going right to left. They find Negron. Nice pass, and that one, it's going to be interesting. I mean, that's definitely a pass, but
I think that should
rim.
count as a three-point shot attempt.
Yeah.
In the scorebook, I think that should count.
I mean, you don't see that very often, a pass that is lobbed up so high it goes off the rim.
Oh, we got this good press here.
Fullwood with it, driving inside, puts it on the floor for Degree. Jump shot from the corner, does not fall. And a strong rebound there for Pennsauken. Trying to get it back there is Greenberg. Pierre Lewis with it, and now Negron has it. Negron pushing the pace up, now slows it down. We talked about the fast pace of play from both of these teams. Now Pennsauken really trying to slow things down and make this a half-court game.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, Burlington City, my biggest critique with how their offense has been today is that they are trying to do way too many non-fundamental things. You saw Degree's shot right there. We're going to have a violation. Degree's shot, when there was that scramble, he had an open look and could have gone 5 or 6 feet further inside to take the shot. But instead, he tries to get it all in one motion, turn around, get that one shot off, and make it look nice. But in this kind of basketball, 1-3 versus 0-4, you don't have to make it look nice. You're not going to make it look nice. You just have to make it functional. And in that situation, I didn't think Burlington City made the right call, or Degree didn't make the right shot.
Greenberg with a pass too high there, was intended for Corey Degree. And this sort of zone press that Pennsauken has working here is really causing some problems for the visiting Blue Devils.
And you said it right there. It's working. That's how it is. Pennsauken is pressuring Burlington City into making a lot of rough decisions right now. And that's why, even with Burlington City taking the early lead, Pennsauken's now got a 9-point lead.
Carr has it here for Pennsauken. Finds Vinales. Pennsauken moving the ball around. Carr thought about a three-pointer. Tightly guarded by Greenberg. Carr crosses over. Takeaway there for the Blue Devils. Jarrett James with it on the steal. They get it now back to James. James driving inside, whistles. And I believe they're going to call a foul on the floor before the charge.
It's going to be on 30 for Pennsauken. We don't have a 30? Then we're out of luck then.
Nevertheless, it was a good effort there by Josh Duran to try and take the charge. Shot goes up, doesn't go for Hilton Ingram, but he's fouled.
Yeah, there's been some interesting decisions on the fouls tonight. I mean, you saw that suspense from Harrison Garcia where he wanted to get that foul called and he wanted it to be an offensive foul, but he didn't get it. And that certainly didn't make anybody happy, and there you go.
So the shot gets stuck after it's taken by Jamie Lambing. And that's not the first time that it's the first time we've seen it in this game, but it happened in the JV game while we were setting up.
That's right.
It got stuck on
the other basket.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout on the floor. 5:32 left to go. Pennsauken with a 9-point lead. We'll take a quick break right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Here from Pennsauken, this broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. Registration is open for the spring of 2026. Visit southjerseynaba.com for information on how to register for the most competitive men's baseball league in all of South Jersey.
So we'll try it again here as James, the inbound after the timeout, can't find anybody, being bobbled around like a pinball, and now here comes Pennsauken. Pass gets to Duran. Carr driving inside. Hop step into the lane. Too strong on the layup. Offensive rebound. Second chance will go. Third time, not the charm there, but the foul is called. Darius Robinson will head to the line to shoot two. The senior center, 3 games played on the year, averaging 7 points per game. 10 makes from inside the three-point line. Spins the ball in his hands. Shoots 50% from the free throw line. Can up the percentage a little bit there, although entering the game just 1 for 2 on the season. We talked about how Sean Pierre-Louis was tied for the tallest player on the roster at 6'4". Well, he's tied with Darius Robinson, also listed at 6'4", for the Pennsauken Indians. Second free throw is up and good there for Robinson. Extends the lead to 11 now for Pennsauken. The zone working to a T. Nice pass down low there for James. Kicks it out for Degree. Degree, jump shot from the elbow. Rolls around, will not fall. And the rebound now goes to Robinson. Finds Carr. Carr pushing in transition, driving inside. Lost it for a second, but a foul is called.
Well, I'll tell you, Jake, sometimes a good supporting cast, a good bench is just as helpful as a good starting lineup. Pennsauken's got 3 scorers off the bench right now. Koprich with 6, Rivera and Robinson with 2. I've seen several games in the early, this is the start of the second week of the year, but I've seen several games where we've had teams that have only had 1 bench score or no bench scores, and sometimes they don't score at all until you get to the winding down part of the game where it's garbage time and nothing really matters. So I like the fact that Pennsauken is using their deep roster and using it well.
Jason Carr at the line, knocked down the first free throw, leads the team in three-point makes now with 10 here tonight. Had a career high 15 points this year on the road against Palmyra on December 27th. A team high 14 points in the Indians' last game against Shawnee. Knocks down the second free throw and extends the lead to 15 now. Will now sub off Singleton back in the game for Pennsauken.
Well, Pennsauken, we talked about their 0-4 start. They had the opposite last year. They were 7-2 in mid-January, 9-4 by the end of the month, but then they lost 7 of their last 9 games to finish the regular season at 12-14 and then lose by 10 in a road match versus Southern Regional to end their playoff run in the first round of South Jersey Group 4 as the 9 seed. So Pennsauken is looking to maybe have a reverse. Bad start, good finish.
So Pennsauken now Singleton from the corner. Hits off the rim. Degree grabs the rebound. Finds Greenberg. Greenberg driving inside. Kicks it out to the corner for James, but he steps out of bounds. Felt like the perfect opportunity there for Burlington City. No press to be able to be set up. And unfortunately there for Jarrett James. Steps out of bounds and turns it over. Both teams now implementing a press with Singleton with it. Pennsauken dealing with it quite well, although it's only been a couple possessions. On the defensive side of things, the press has worked out well for the Indians here in this one. Takeaway there for Greenberg. Greenberg racing down the lane, goes up and under and finishes with the right hand on the left side. A crafty move there for Eric Greenberg. And now the press is on and almost forces a turnover. Went off the head of Corey Degree. Tossed the ball away from the official. Says, my bad, just missed you there. And now Pennsauken to try and inbound again. 3:56 on the clock. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark alongside the man himself, Dan Wilkins. David Cohen, our producer. This one, nice pass from Negron. Layup for Duran is good. Easy way to beat the press there. Moving quickly were the Pennsauken Indians. 25-12 they lead. James with it, gets this one. Greenberg, floater, yes. Just a hair in front of the free throw line there for Eric Greenberg, and he gets the shot to drop. Now things ramping back up, the pace of play quick here. Nice floater inside. Aiden Vinales, the freshman, gets that one to fall.
And make that 4 players off the Pennsauken bench to score here in this first half. Really impressive showing by not just Harrison Carcio, but by the entire Indians crew.
Greenberg is trapped, and a timeout is called there. Excellent defense to force Eric Greenberg into a trap. 3:07 left to go. Pennsauken leading 27-14. And we'll take a quick break right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Back here in the second quarter, Pennsauken with a big lead on the scoreboard, 27-14 over the visiting Burlington City Blue Devils. The Blue Devils forced to burn a timeout after Eric Greenberg was trapped right near the out-of-bounds line on the far side of the court. James with it in the corner. Driving baseline, hop step, finds Greenberg. Greenberg back to James. James going up strong. Blocked initially, but a foul is called. Darius Robinson on defense. Fouled after the pump fake there from Jarrett James. The junior averaging 12.5 points per game.
I know this is a long shot, but I do wonder if this James is related to Malachi James, the running back at Syracuse. Now, Malachi James had the fastest sprint time in all of college football last year. And while he didn't play too much for Syracuse, which is led by Camden's own Fran Brown, still like to see, I mean, James isn't, it's a common last name. So maybe it's not, but that would be really cool if he was related to Malachi.
It definitely, I mean, it's certainly a common last name, but definitely possible.
considering how much of a star athlete Malachi James was at Burlington City.
Yeah.
And now at Syracuse, although I believe he recently entered the transfer portal.
Burlington City forces a 5-second violation by the looks of it, as now they'll inbound. And now they'll trade them back and forth. So
we could be here all day.
Pennsauken commits a 5-second violation. Burlington City now commits a 5-second violation. Duran on the inbound. They'll actually get it in now. Vinales with the ball.
Oh.
Makes a man miss. Negron found Pierre Lewis back to Negron. Greenberg working against him. Negron goes to his right. Vinales in the corner. Drives to the baseline. Vinales going up strong. His shot is blocked. Outlet pass, Lambing working against two defenders. Strong defense there from Duran. And it'll go out of bounds. Last touch there by Josh Duran. The junior with some good defense, but couldn't get two hands on it to corral it, and turns it over for Pennsauken.
A lot of back and forth in this game. We've seen it all throughout the first half. It hasn't been too clean on either side, but, 12-point game, not all that much of a lost cause for BC.
James with it, driving inside, uses the crossover. Looked like he kicked it off his foot and it went out of bounds, and the bench is fired up for Pennsauken after forcing a turnover there.
I keep pointing out every single time Burlington City's got an open man either in the corner or somewhere deep.
Whistles and a jump ball. A late call there as Greenberg took it away and pretty much had a free basket.
Yeah, there was a point there where Lambing, or check that, Greenberg was wide open in the near corner. I would have dished it out to him, but again, we have a view from up top of the box. They don't. I'm just looking at a lot of open players for Burlington City on these offensive possessions.
Vinales can't save it, goes flying into the bleachers on the far side there. We talked about it in the first quarter. Can expect a lot of turnovers with teams that are struggling to begin the season, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Degree driving inside, dumps this one off. Shot goes up, way too high off the glass. And the rebound now to Negron. Negron with one man to beat, finds Vinales. Vinales, the freshman, goes up, can't get it to fall. Wanted a foul, Lambing on the rebound. Degree working against Pierre. Double team, and now a pass that will go back court. Sean Pierre Lewis with some good defense. A double team comes down, and Corey Degree turns the ball over there for the Blue Devils. It'll be Koprich on the inbound. Had a great first quarter, scored almost all of his points within 1 or 2 minutes on the floor. His first 1 or 2 minutes of the game here. Carr with it. Duran wide open for three. Off to the left. Lambing on the rebound. Finds Greenberg. Greenberg back to Lambing. Lambing's layup. Yes! Crafty work there from Lambing to go up and around the defender. And now just a 10-point lead for Pennsauken. 2-on-1 here. Pierre Lewis taken away there by James. James is double teamed. Needs some help, and a foul finally called. Fast and physical here in this first half between Burlington City and Pennsauken.
Well, one thing I want to note, these two teams, 1-3 and 0-4 this year, they both have two common opponents against each other, Palmyra and Northern Burlington. And we get a timeout. We'll stay here. But for Burlington City, you can chalk up their losses to good teams. Doan, 4-0 this year. Northern Burlington won 16 games last year. They're 2-2 to start. Palmyra is 2-0 to start this year. And then on the other side, for Pennsauken, West Tech's one of the best teams in the BCSL with Ketchwayo Bird. They had a fantastic year last year. Palmyra and again, Northern Burlington, and then they played Shawnee, an Olympic Conference team, with their new coach Dylan Fields in his second year over at Cherokee High School. So I can't really say that Burlington City's 1-3 is a deserved 1-3, and I can't really say that Pensauken's 0-4 is a deserved 0-4, because right now both teams are struggling, but you see that they have talent. They're just right now struggling to put it together against a team over 500.
Well, and again, I think the big thing for Burlington City, their last two losses were by one possession. They lost by 2 points to Northern Burlington and just by 3 points in their last game on the road to Palmyra. So certainly something that if they get a couple more buckets to go their way, they could have the record flipped. There's now less than a minute to go. Bounce pass inside, Greenberg with it. Now Degree in the corner, thought about a three-pointer. Degree still with the ball. Pierre Lewis.
Brian Warwick was not pleased at all about that play.
Jump shot from James, good. Tough shot there from Jarrett James in the high post. Pierre Lewis now for Pennsauken, driving inside, goes up and under, can't get the shot to go. Rebound for the Blue Devils. Degree finds Lambing, three-pointer, money! Jamie Lambing with a triple, and now just a 5-point lead for the Indians, as this has been a good run here for Burlington City. Negron with it. They've got to cross half court, and they do. Jump ball is called after the double team, and Brian Warwick, the head coach for Burlington City, very animated and has to be happy with the recent stretch his team just went on in the past 45 seconds or so.
That shot by Lambing was the best shot that Burlington City's taken tonight, and they looked out of it at that last juncture, but they've now reinserted themselves into this game, and it should be a great last 10 seconds.
Less than 10 to go here in the first half. Greenberg finds Degree, screen comes. Degree driving inside, finds James on the right block, whistles on a jump ball.
Oh.
Tough fall for both players there in Pierre Lewis and Jarrett James. 1.3 seconds left to go. Pennsauken has the inbound. They'll have to go the full length of the court. Avery Koprich on the inbound. Finds Negron. Negron heaves one up. Too strong right off the backboard. And that will be the end of the first half here from Pennsauken High School, with the home Pennsauken Indians up 5 points over the Burlington City Blue Devils, 27-22. And certainly, as we pointed out, a fast and physical first half there.
Yeah, Brian Warwick had something to say to the referees at the end of the half there. He was standing on the half-court logo. Not sure what his grievance was, but it seems like whatever it is seems to be settled.
Nevertheless, again, a very fast and physical first half. We'll have second half coverage in just a few short moments right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah!
It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman. And if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Up light, he's, again, one time leaving the bases loaded is frustrating enough. Doing it twice in a row. Oh, how about this? Line drive. No, he's throwing it around the infield. They're going to throw him out at first. He's out. I have never seen that before. That is a 5-4-3 ground out because the third baseman thought he caught it. The home plate umpire said no, so he threw it around the infield and then got the out at first anyway because the batter thought he was out.
The batter stopped. The third baseman thought
Everybody
he caught
stopped.
it, and it touched.
So after the holding call to be 1st and 20, as now rolling out to the right side, he's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags, and how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline, and Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the Redhawks at 7-6.
Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball at the center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the second hit at home by a Scarlet Raptor.
Second half of action just about to get underway here from Pennsauken High School as the Pennsauken Indians with a 5-point lead at the end of the first half, 27-22. But for Burlington City, the good part is they closed out the half strong, going on a 5-0 run to end the second quarter and bringing the game now within 5 points. Both of these teams, again, it's been back and forth physical. They've brought out the full court press, played zone defense a couple different times. There's so much going on, and yet still a low-scoring affair here in Pennsauken.
Yeah, I mean, Burlington City has played decently well. Both teams have had issues with turnovers. I don't think you need a rocket scientist to tell you that. But that end of the run in the first half, that was beautiful. And if Burlington City can replicate that, if they can catch fire, they can easily break through. And I don't know if winning this game is going to be easier said than done, but Burlington City certainly has the pieces to put it together if they play their cards right.
They certainly do. It's anybody's game now. Pass intended there for Hawkins, stolen away by Rivera. Rivera thought about a jump shot, now a foul as he lost it, and it will be an inbound on the baseline. Jaden Rivera coming off the bench here for Pennsauken. Had a fairly solid game so far tonight here for the home Pennsauken Indians. Just 14 seconds off the clock here in the second half of action. And Rivera, the one who was fouled, to inbound. Finds Negron. Negron goes up strong with the right hand and gets the shot to drop. The leading point scorer adds 2 more to his tally here tonight. Cross-court pass intercepted by Pierre Lewis. 3-on-2 break. Pierre Lewis finds Negron, and he'll slow things down. He's guarded by James. Pass inside intended for Rivera, stolen away by Joshua Hawkins. Degree with it. Now James in the corner. 3-pointer off the side of the rim. Rebound goes to Duran. Carr picked up by Greenberg, right around the logo at midcourt. Pierre Lewis now. Hawkins there on defense. Good ball movement here by Pennsauken, taking their time. Pierre Lewis trying to back down his defender, goes to the right. Hook shot just off the mark. Whistles, which way is it going? It will stay. Actually, it will be Blue Devils ball. I didn't see a clear motion there. It looked as though the referee said it would stay with Pennsauken, but it's going the other way. Intercepted there by Negron off the pass from Greenberg. Negron to Carr in the corner. Driving inside, Jason Carr goes up, rolls around the rim and falls. A strong 2 points there for the senior guard, and Pennsauken off to a good start here, scoring 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, right now this front court for Pennsauken doesn't exactly have it in terms of height, but they have it in terms of heart. These guys are getting steals, rebounds, everything you can imagine, and most importantly, points.
Right on cue there, a steal leading to a pair of points there for Nazir Negron. And the press working wonders for the Indians. 11-point lead, Degree shot is up and good. A mid-range maestro, one could call Corey Degree. Does a really good job, and he gets the ball right back. James in the corner, back to Degree. Lambing with it from way downtown. Doesn't fall. Rivera on the rebound. Lambing had a big shot to end the first half to bring the Blue Devils within 5, but so far it's been all Indians here in this second half. Pierre Lewis down inside the post. Shot doesn't go, but he's fouled there. The foul against Joshua Hawkins, the sophomore for the Blue Devils. And Sean Pierre Lewis, the senior forward, to head to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Nazir Negron on that last shot that Pennsauken had, he took the lead for Pennsauken scoring with 7, but Koprich leads off the bench with 6. We mentioned before how important the bench is for Pennsauken. They have 4 scorers off the bench tonight for the Indians. Meanwhile, Burlington City's scoring has been reduced to only their 5 starters. Lambing leads with 7. Lambing with 8 and Degree with 7. Point is, Pennsauken's bench is the reason why they have the lead right now, 33-24.
Certainly is. Bench points oh so important as Pierre Lewis gets the shot to go. Won't contribute to the bench points as he's in the starting lineup here tonight. But now a 10-point lead for Pennsauken, 34-24. And that one, an offensive foul, clear as day there, as the elbow of Corey Degree a little bit too extended. And as a result, Jason Carr, the one to force the turnover. Degree wasn't happy with the call, but I mean, if we can see it from up here, I'm sure the officials can see it down on the floor. They've got a better view than anybody. Risky inbound pass. Carr has it. Finds Duran in the corner. Back to Carr now. Greenberg's there on defense. Duran in the high post. Turnaround jump shot. Off the front of the rim and will not fall. No hometown roll there for Josh Duran, and now here come the Blue Devils. Duran tries to get it back. Lambing with it. Finds Degree at the top of the key. Degree working to his left. Now looking. Finds Greenberg. Greenberg driving inside. Lambing. Three-pointer. Yes! Big shot there from Jamie Lambing, who's been a spark plug from deep. And now, just like that, here comes Pennsauken.
Lambing now with 11 points.
Whistles. It looked as though Negron out of bounds there for Pennsauken. But a big shot. And again, this is a Blue Devils team that only averages 5.3 three-point makes per game this season. A team that really likes to play inside. And with Degree as their leading scorer, it makes a lot of sense. He takes a lot of mid-range jump shots. But Jamie Lambing sails the pass a little bit too high. And it goes out of bounds. 4:33. The clock is stopped. Jaden Rivera, the one to inbound. Jarrett James to cover him. Rivera finds Duran. Lambing was there, and now Carr has it. Carr driving inside, being physical. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but the foul is called. So Jason Carr, the senior guard, averaging 9 points per game, had a team high 14 points last game for Pennsauken, where they ended up losing to Shawnee. Shot is up, hits the back of the rim there for Carr. First free throw does not go. Carr also, we've mentioned it a couple times on the broadcast, but the leading player when it comes to three-point makes for Pennsauken. Hit a three earlier in this game to get him to double digits on the season with 10. As the second free throw is up, and that one will fall. We've got a whistle, and now looks like a timeout after the shot. 35-27, Pennsauken will take the timeout. And we're going to take a quick break here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Third quarter action, we'll be right back after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Third quarter action just about to get back in action here as Pennsauken with a lead on the scoreboard, 35-27. We're going to take a look at the BCSL Freedom standings. We've mentioned a couple of these teams. Burlington City, though, at the bottom of that division, 1-3 overall, 0-2 in division play, just underneath of Willingboro. And you can see the rest of the standings there on your screen. Palmyra, a team that both of these teams have faced already, as that one gets deflected. Negron with it, as the action is already back. Pierre Lewis on the right block, backing down his defender, kicks it out. Duran, three-pointer at the top of the key, hits the front of the rim, offensive rebound. Shot doesn't fall. And Sean Pierre Lewis has been a menace down in the low post for Pennsauken, grabbing a whole lot of rebounds and taking now multiple trips to the line.
Well, I'll tell you, Doane Academy being at the top of that division is what surprised me the most. They only won 7 games 2 years ago, 14-11 last year, and their head coach, Dan Williamson, is the same head coach as of their baseball team, which had a fantastic Cinderella-like run in the BCSL last season. So I'm surprised to see Doane that high up, but I'm also a little bit surprised to see, Willingboro Willingboro won, I think, 7 or 8 games last year. Florence, they're right around the middle of the pack. Right now, that division usually is one for the taking for Burlington City, but right now, with their struggles, it's wide open.
Free throw is left short, batted around. Last touch there by Duran, and it will be Blue Devils basketball. Just about halfway through this third quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark alongside the man himself, Dan Wilkins, right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Lambing gets it to Degree. This one stolen away there by Negron. Goes up with the layup. First shot doesn't go. Gets his own rebound. Kicks this one out for Rivera. Rivera driving inside, looking around for help. And Duran is at the top of the key. Guarded by Degree. Picked up his dribble. Finds Rivera. Rivera, nice crossover. Drives inside. Gets by the defender, and the layup goes. Crafty move there by Jaden Rivera, as he blows by the defender and gets the shot to drop. Pass intended for James ends up in the hands of Lambing. Now back to Lambing, all alone. Yes, another 3 for Jamie Lambing. Been red hot from beyond the arc for the Blue Devils, and now they trail by just 8.
4 triples, 14 points for Jamie Lambing. If Burlington City comes back to win this game, he's going to be the architect of that. He has been so good, especially from that wing. He had 1 corner 3, but most of his shooting has come from the wing tonight. He's been incredibly consistent.
5-second violation, so now James to inbound. It's poked away there by Pierre Lewis, and it will go out of bounds. 3 minutes left to go here in the quarter.
I will say, you see that curtain, kind of an interesting setup here at Pennsauken. Not a lot of room for any kind of saving there. So if you're going to save it, you're either going to save the basketball or you're going to find yourself into a thick blue curtain.
Timeout taken on the floor. 3:07 left to go. The Indians lead by 8. We'll be right back here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
I'll tell you, we come back here from Pennsauken. There is Yaxel Londenberg. He's a class of 2020 Pennsauken grad who has spent time with UAB and Arizona and won 2 AAC titles with UAB. I'm sorry, 2 AAC first-team selections with UAB. He's talking to that gentleman there. He's in the black beanie, 6'9" out of Michigan. He is on the Naismith watch list for Player of the Year. He's coming back to his hometown 5 years after graduation to go watch his hometown team.
Certainly cool and always nice when alumni come back and do that sort of thing, but when you're on the Naismith watch list, it I'm sure means a little bit more to the players and coaching staff. 3 minutes exactly on the clock. Foul is called. Jason Carr, the one on the foul. It'll be Jamie Lambing to inbound right in front of a couple fans.
I wonder if Donovan Casey ever did that for Sterling when you were there.
I can't say that he did. I think he was really just trying to, he was in the early stages of his career. At one point while I was there, he did get called up by the Nationals. I don't know if he ever made an appearance, but yeah, that's another, I mean, for my alma mater, a big alumni.
Because I know that every year, at least a couple of wrestling matches during the offseason, for those unaware, I'm an Audubon grad. Joe Flacco pops up now and then. Usually not at a football game. Maybe once he retires he might, but he's usually at a wrestling match or two throughout the season.
Negron with it after the pass was deflected by Donato Pero. Negron still with it, goes all the way up and glides to the rim to drop in the layup. 10-point lead for Pennsauken after the basket from Negron. Rivera deflects it. James somehow keeps it in bounds. Pero with it. Pass is tipped, and it will stay with the Blue Devils. Negron the last one to touch it.
Well, Nazir Negron is the leading scorer in this game for Pennsauken. He's got 9 points. And one of the things that we touched on in the open was that he's a multi-sport athlete, quarterback for the football team, a very good Pennsauken team, and also a nice guard for this Pennsauken basketball team. It's something to be a multi-sport athlete that's good in multiple sports in a Group 1, but it's another thing to be that good in multiple sports as well at a Group 4.
Jump ball is called, and now looked as though Pero and Pierre Lewis got a little bit tied up after the whistle was blown. The arrow in favor of the Blue Devils as they get possession back after the jump ball. James the one to inbound. Looking. Nice, easy pass there, and Hilton Ingram gets the basket down low. Cuts the deficit now to just 8 points.
That is the first Burlington City bench scorer in this game. Everything else had been from their starting 5.
Carr finds Rivera. Rivera to Duran. Nice ball movement there by the Indians as they get a basket down on the low post. Courtesy there of Rivera. Lambing finds Degree. Degree, cross-court pass, almost intercepted. James with it, stops at the free throw line. Hilton Ingram working there against a couple defenders, and it's no good off the front of the rim. Pierre Lewis, the one to grab the rebound. Nazir Negron was also there on defense, and now he'll orchestrate this Indians offense. Rivera in the corner. Looking, finds Negron off a cut. Negron spinning, double teamed, goes up, somehow gets it to fall. Nazir Negron with the basket down low and extends the lead. Now Pennsauken up 44-32.
That's an extremely crafty shot right there, and he's going to get called for a backcourt. Love that athleticism from Negron, and Pennsauken has so much heart right now. You're seeing those winning years right back in this offense, and right now you're seeing why this 0-4 is because of a tough schedule, not because of a lack of talent.
Certainly putting out 110% effort here. It's Koprich with it, finds Rivera. Thought about the three-pointer, now drives inside. Rivera, too strong off the glass, gets his own rebound. Second chance, doesn't go. Shot drops and the foul. Avery Koprich, an and-one opportunity after the offensive rebound, and extends the lead for Pennsauken. A big run right now for the Indians as they try and extend their lead on the scoreboard. 46-32, nice basket.
20 of Pennsauken's 46 points are off of the bench. Koprich with 8, Rivera with 6. I'm going to keep stressing it. It's a team effort out there.
Jump ball is called. Josh Duran gets in there against Lambing. Looked like it was Duran and either Negron or Carr in on the double team, but now the arrow in favor of Pennsauken. They'll get the inbound. 48.5 seconds left to go. Negron, pass intercepted by James. 2-on-2 break, and he's fouled in transition. Koprich, the culprit. But a nice takeaway there by Jarrett James, the junior, for the Blue Devils. He'll be the one to inbound. Had a career-high 19 points this year on the road against Northern Burlington.
I was curious if they were going to call that a clear path foul, because sometimes in that situation, I don't even know if that's a thing in high school, but I know it is in the NBA where, you know, if you have a clear route to the basket and you're intentionally fouled, it can force some foul shots even if you're not over the bonus.
Lambing up and under layup, leaves it just short. Hilton Ingram on the rebound. He steps out of bounds.
I mean, you can hear Harrison Carcillo's feet stomping with how he's directing his players. Even when his team's up by 14, he's still that passionate.
Almost like quarterback-like pass there from Negron, and Koprich there lays it up and in. So some skills from the gridiron transitioning to the hardwood there for the multi-sport athlete. Degree, pass intercepted by Rivera. 3-on-2 break. Carr in the corner. stops, pops. Inside the line, doesn't get anything there, and now a foul is called as Pero, frustrated as Burlington City wanted to get out and run. There have been points where the Blue Devils have made this a close game, but Pennsauken has done such a good job, not only on the offensive end, scoring 48 points, but also being able to put up stellar numbers on defense. A lot of forced turnovers for the Indians all throughout this game here in the first 3 quarters. Less than 10 seconds left to go. James with it. Pero now on the right wing. 3 left to go. Trying to get it to James. Negron has it. Half-court heave is up. Almost gets it to fall. Just a little bit too strong, but nevertheless, a stellar third quarter for Pennsauken. 48-32. They lead. We'll be back for the fourth quarter right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting in just a moment. Fourth quarter just about to get underway with Pennsauken leading 48-32 over Burlington City. And I'm Jake Clark alongside Dan Wilkins. And Dan, I mean, this is a Burlington City team that not too long ago was a perennial powerhouse in Group 1.
Yeah, Burlington City, their run started around 2014 under Coach Paul Collins, who was there until 2021. And I'll tell you, I mean, they had 3 state finals appearances. They would have made the state finals in 2020 when they beat Pennsgrove. Oh, that hit the rafters. That hit the rafters, but my apologies. They were going to play in the state final, but you know when that was played? March 11th, 2020, and I think that there were some more important things going on in the world that time.
There was a lot going on there.
If not for that, they would have been in 4 state championships, and again, you see it on the left side of your screen, how they went from 19-10 in 2022 to 5-20 in 2023 under Coach Warwick. So they have built their way back, but there still is a long road ahead for the Blue Devils.
Certainly is. Is Negron the one to get the steal, racing in transition, goes up and under with the layup, almost gets it to fall. Nazir Negron would have been a circus shot there, but instead he'll just take 2 free throws with 7:31 left to go here in regulation.
Well, shots like that are a lot more comfortable when you're up by 14 points. I mean, Pennsauken's been playing a really good game. The last time we were at Pennsauken, they beat Collingswood 92-59. I'm glad that we're getting a little bit of a better game today because it showcases how good of a team Harrison Carcio is leading. Yes, they are 0-4, but you look at their schedule. Again, our job as high school sports journalists is to call it a little bit more positively because these are kids out on the court. So for Pennsauken, they have 2 common opponents with Burlington City. They've all lost to them. And Pensauken's got a little bit of a tough road ahead, but in a tough conference, it favors on you a little bit better to have a tough schedule.
Second free throw, no good. Pierre Lewis on the rebound, whistles. And Pierre Lewis and Pero get tied up again on the jump ball. I think they're both looking at each other like it's happened twice now.
Yeah.
I mean, not often that happens. Also not often you see an inbound pass hit the top divider in the middle of the gym.
It's not that low either. It's not that high up there. I mean, Jake, we were at Pittman on Friday. That was an issue. And if you watched any of the Allentown-Del Rand game on Saturday, it was a huge issue because Allentown had the ball under the opposite basket with 3 seconds left. They heave a pass, it hits the wiring, which is exactly what happened there, and Allentown wanted it to be called a jump ball. Now, Delran knew what the call was, and it was out of bounds, out of play. That's how it was. And they got the ball. Delran ended up winning the game by 2 points. But I actually had a chance to speak with the ref as we were both leaving, and he said, that was the right call, absolutely. And the reason why was because it's explained that if it hits the roof or any partition of the roof, it's automatically out of bounds and not a jump ball. Here we go.
Negron goes up, and he just lays that one in.
He bobbled it a little bit.
Yeah, I think he wanted to try and jam it home, but got a little bit bobbled up in his hands. Nevertheless, you'll take 2 points any way you can get them. 51-34, the Indians lead over the Blue Devils. James steps into a three-pointer off the mark. And this one goes out of bounds. It was actually last touched by the referee.
I was going to say, it hit the ref. How do you call that?
I think the pass was deflected by Burlington City before it hit the official, so Negron will inbound. The last time he inbounded, it hit that top divider like we just talked about. So we'll have to see if they look to go deep. He's going to take a check down, for lack of a better term, and dump this one off to Jason Carr. Now Negron with it. Racing, crosses half court. Rivera, three-pointer. Too strong. Duran with the rebound. And it goes out of bounds. 51-34, and again, I mean, we've talked about it. I think the big two factors right now, the bench points for Pennsauken, along with the fact that throughout that first half and really in that third quarter, they had a full court press going that created a lot of turnovers like we just saw right there.
Yeah, this game has been super turnover heavy, and maybe that is to be expected in a 1-3 versus 0-4 game this early in the season. Both teams are still getting their kinks worked out, and this is the only time they'll play each other this year, with it being that you're going to see these teams kind of feed off of each other a little bit. 10 and 12 wins last year for Burlington City and Pennsauken. We're seeing that scrappy basketball. Pennsauken almost is playing like a Group 1 offense, but instead they're playing with the guise of a Group 4.
It's certainly been a scrappy game. Whistles and a foul. Josh Duran called. As Donato Pero was trying to move the ball up. Substitutions being made now for Burlington City.
And I'll be honest, Burlington City's upcoming schedule does not get any easier. They have Burlington Township on Saturday the 3rd. They won a whole bunch of games last year under Lacey Walker. They went 26-4 last year, probably the second best team in the conference outside of Thrive Charter. Then they have 2-0 Delran on the 7th, and then Penn Tech on the 9th. And then who do you have on January 12th? Doan Academy on the road. They're 4-0 this year. So Burlington City, if they lose tonight, down to 1-4, might not get any easier for Brian Warwick and his company.
Yeah, it certainly won't. As foul, a hard foul by Sean Pierre Lewis right around the volleyball line. Nevertheless, Burlington City gets the ball back. Hilton Ingram with it, driving, spinning, goes up, blocked. Pierre Lewis with the rejection. Burlington City gets it back. James goes up, clanks off the side of the rim, and doesn't fall. And now, Dan, at the point in the game where if you're Pennsauken, you've got a big lead on the scoreboard, you can think about trying to slow the game down like they were able to do in that second quarter.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're Burlington City on this possession or in these final 5 minutes, chuck up as many threes as you can. You're down by 17 points. They've been unusually good from beyond three, and how about that? Firing it off the glass. But, I mean, Burlington City at this point, this is your nothing can, we can't lose more at this point. Just get as many possessions as you can and try to take as much opportunities away from Pennsauken.
Well, an opportunity missed there by Pennsauken as the pass was intended for Jason Carr, but on the previous possession, Sean Pierre Lewis, a strong take right there. Looked like three defenders in proximity, and he's able to just smack it off the glass and get it to fall. Lambing with the ball, driving inside, kicks this one out. Greenberg is there, drives inside, uses the right hand on the left side, and Negron grabs the rebound. Negron right at half court on the Pennsauken Indians logo. Finds Carr. Pierre Lewis with it on the wing. Back to Carr. They're definitely going to be looking to take their time. Negron with a wide open look. Doesn't get it to go. And James gets the rebound. Greenberg with it. Burlington City's got to move quick. Negron gets a hand on it. He's able to deflect it for the moment, but it goes out of bounds. Inbound goes to Lambing. Lambing with it. Driving inside, uses the right hand and gets the finish off the glass.
Yeah, Lambing's been the star for Burlington City, even with only 36 points. Burlington City and Lambing, he's responsible for 16 of them. Been fantastic from inside and out.
Nice pump fake there, and Duran gets the shot to fall. And for Lambing, as a junior, his career high was set this year, 20 points on the road against Northern Burlington. With 16, has a chance to either tie or maybe even surpass that here tonight. Something to keep an eye out on. Negron gets it to Carr. Back to Negron. And Dan, one thing I actually noticed, as Carr has it on the right block and gets the layup to go, but one thing I noticed is there's no benches for either of these teams. The players are sitting in the bleachers, which, I mean, to me, might seem a little uncommon even at the high school level, but they're sitting on the bleachers, and I don't think anybody's really complaining about it. At least they've got somewhere to sit. Well, now a 2-on-none fast break. Shot goes up, does not go for Duran.
Jake, you know, the fact that you mentioned that, and I didn't even bat an eye about it, is because I am an Audubon alum, that's exactly how their setup is. There are no chairs on the bench. You are sitting in the first row of the bleachers with your assistant coaches and everybody else. And it looks like, speaking of the bench, this is the closest you get to the benches clearing. Literally everybody on Pennsauken's bench stood up and checked into the game with it being a 21-point lead. But, yeah, I didn't even think of it. I didn't even bat an eye because that's exactly how it is where I went to high school at Audubon. I'm sure Sterling is a nicer setup, though.
We had a couple. It wasn't like a bench, but it was some chairs that they would sit in.
Yeah, at least some chairs, hopefully padded.
James leaves the shot short. Rebound goes to Pennsauken. Vinales with the ball. Final 3 minutes left to go here in regulation. Singleton finds Robinson. Hawkins there on defense. Vinales driving inside, working against James. Bumps off the defender and gets it to go. The freshman, Aiden Vinales, with a big basket right there. Bumps off the defender and gets 2 points to fall. Perro finds Hawkins. Hawkins with a fake pass. Nice pass inside. Layup goes up and will not fall there. Sincere Fullwood has a chance to go to the free throw line now. Fullwood, the senior, only one game played so far this season.
Well, let's wrap up those loose ends on the ad reads that we have. We do have 2 more to read. This broadcast is brought to you by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or Dog Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. Visit dawgprowrestling.com for more information on future bookings. And by the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners, the premier athletic department of New Jersey JUCO Athletics. Become a Roadrunner today by visiting rcroadrunners.edu and filling out the prospective athlete form.
Second free throw is up and falls there for Fullwood. Vinales running the point, guarded by Perro. 2 minutes and some change left to go. 59-37 lead for the Indians. Pass intercepted there by Perro. He's got nobody to beat, goes up and gets the layup to drop. Donato Perro turns some good defense into easy offense right there. And Burlington City, they'll need a miracle run to go on right now with 1:45 left to go. Singleton out. Koprich missed everything there. And it goes out of bounds.
And folks, our next broadcast is on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. First of all, I want to compliment Jake Clark. He always does a fantastic job with Rowan and with us. We do have 2 games tomorrow, a doubleheader, our last before Christmas. We have GCIT at Leap Academy at 1:45. That is our first of 4 games in a partnership with Leap, as that's basket's good. And then we have a 5:30 Colonial Conference tilt between Sterling and Woodbury from the new Cat Payne Gymnasium to close out our pre-holiday schedule. We have plenty of more stuff coming up after the holiday, after Christmas, but we will get into that later.
December has a whole lot of action. Vinales, three-pointer, knocks it down.
7 points for the freshman, Vinales.
A big three-pointer right there. And in one of his first varsity games in his first season, coming up big off the bench.
Ooh.
Shot drops in the foul. Eric Greenberg, crafty move into the lane. Nice body control to stay up in the air for as long as he did. And he's fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll head to the line for one more.
And while we do have a little bit of extra time, let's talk about the holiday schedule. We will be, first of all, covering the Belmar Bears All-Star Hockey Showcase at the Belmar Deck Hockey Rinks on the 27th. Then on Sunday the 28th, we've got the finals and consolation of the Audubon Boys and Girls Tournament. For the girls, the 4 teams competing in that will be Audubon, Deptford, Penns Grove, and Vineland. And then for the boys' side, Audubon, Gloucester Catholic, Hamilton, and Morristown Friends. So you'll see a combination of those 8 teams across 4 games on Sunday, December 28th.
Should be a good one. We should be paired up for that.
I believe so.
James doesn't get the rebound to go, and they'll say it was last touched by Burlington City.
And then one more, the 29th, we have the Haddon Township Girls Winter Showcase. 2 games on the 29th. Cherry Hill East at Williamstown at 10:30, and then Triton at Haddon Township, seeing Triton for the second time this year at 12:30.
Vinales up for the pass for Robinson. Coprich's shot doesn't go. Whistles. And you have to give Donato Pero a little bit of credit. That's 3 jump balls he's forced in very limited minutes for Burlington City. And he wins the Blue Devils, the possession arrow in favor of Pennsauken. But nevertheless, going toe-to-toe with players that are a little bit taller than he is. James, the one to steal it. Has to slow down. Good defense by Pennsauken in transition. A foul is called. Jarrett James will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws here.
Well, yeah, talking about Donato Pero, he is yet to score his first varsity points. Had 2 rebounds in that loss, in the only win that BC has had. It was versus Riverside, and he's only a junior, and he could very well be a good defensive asset for Donato Pero. And I could very well see Pero becoming an interesting asset for BC. Just think about the fact that he has forced 3 jump balls. I think he has a steal or something like that. He's done a lot of work to get Burlington City where they are, even in a losing effort.
Well, not only that, but just the fearlessness to go toe-to-toe with players that are head and shoulders taller than you as a guard is certainly something that'll get him more minutes. Hawkins three-pointer, yes! So the 3 from Hawkins at least gives Burlington City the last points of this game. They are the losers in this one. Pennsauken picks up win number 1 on the year by a final score of 62-47. Burlington City will fall to 1-4 and losers of 3 straight.
And Pennsauken improves to 1-4, and that's what's important in this game. Pennsauken, home opener for them. They have played some tough schedules, and obviously Harrison Carcio likes to book a tough team. They like to play a tough schedule, and Burlington City is going to be in a bit of a tough spot, playing Doan, Burlington Township, and Delran next week. And honestly, I'm excited to see what Pennsauken can do versus Haddon Township. That's going to be a Group 1 game on December the 30th. That's in the Overbrook Classic. And then they have the New Year, Mastery Camden, Bordentown, and Medford Tech. Pennsauken is a bit of the easier road, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this momentum. This is a statement win. This is something that is a confidence booster, a 15-point victory. It's not 92-59 like we saw last year, but I think that Pennsauken has their sights set ahead and looking to reverse the effects. As you can see, some kids actually getting their picture taken with that Michigan power forward. Yaxel, 6'9", as we mentioned, out of Michigan. I just wanted to detour a little bit from that because not often do you get an alumnus who is drawing some pictures with the fan crowd. But, Jake, I'll tell you, great game by Pennsauken tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was. And, again, I think the things that we really pointed out here, Dan, are the fact that not only the bench points, but that press on defense was, I think, what really set apart Pennsauken from Burlington City. Burlington City tried their own press. Pennsauken handled it much better, and Burlington City in that second quarter was really, really struggling with beating the press, turning the ball over a lot, and allowed for Pennsauken to get a lot of points in transition because of those turnovers and those steals. I think that's what gave the Indians the win here today, and I think it also has to be almost like a weight lifted off your shoulders. When are we going to get win number one? I mean, the team is celebrating, and rightfully so, starting off 0-4, not the way you want to come out, but they're able to get win number one, and now they can focus on trying to get win number two in their next matchup against Haddon Township.
Yeah, the best way to start a winning streak is by winning a game, and that's what Pennsauken just did. I mean, this was a good game. I think that Pennsauken, I've said it like a broken record, it was a team effort. 5 scorers off the bench. They had a lot of love for that defensive zone that they ran, the 3-2 defense. I thought that it was really effective in getting Burlington City under pressure, and that's one thing that helped Pennsauken along the way. They led by 5 at the halftime break, 27-22. They really ramped up the scoring. That third quarter changed a lot of things. If I would award a player of the game, I'd probably say Nazir Negron. Even though he wasn't the leading scorer in the game, it was Lambing who had 16. Negron's 13 points were what really changed the game, and I think that his shooting from outside, his shooting from inside, his craftiness as a guard, and the ability to be bold and go to the inside of the basket is, as somebody who was a shorter guard, and not only that, the quarterback of the Pennsauken football team, he's just an athlete. He is a pure athlete, and we saw that on full display tonight.
Well, I think not only that quarterback ability translated very well, had a couple of nice assists, a couple of long passes, full court passes that he was able to, for lack of a better term, complete down the court. Nevertheless, I would agree with you. Nazir Negron, a fantastic game from the junior guard, and he's able to help Pennsauken pick up win number one on the year.
That'll be all for us tonight. Once again, I know it's not commonplace for the color commentator to sign off everyone, but Jay Clark, again, did a fantastic job, and we continue to keep having him on the air as a talent of Rowan University in the Sports Cam program. As from our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Gianotti, my producer, David Cohen, also of Rowan University Sports Cam, my play-by-play announcer, Jay Clark. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you for a two-step tomorrow, GCIT at Leap Academy at 1:45, and Sterling at Woodbury at 5:30. Have a good one, folks.